For days altogether, there has been a concerted attempt across the country by the usual set of apologists. What have they been saying? They have been saying that it is Hindu yatriks, whether and when they took out processions during the New Year, or viewers during Ram Navami, or on the birth Jayanti of Lord Hanuman. It is the Hindu yatriks who are the provocateurs. This is what has been said without exception. Fake news was spread to suggest that Hindu Hanuman Yatris in Delhi desecrated a mosque in an unprovoked act of bigotry. You will remember those allegations, viewers. It took Times Now to access the footage and expose these lies. Jahangirpuri, viewers, and the claims around what happened in Jahangirpuri were exposed by your channel. Even in Karoli, Rajasthan, where a rally was attacked during Hindu New Year celebrations, an impression was sought to be created that the participants provoked the peace-loving Muslim community. It took Times Now's investigations to expose the reality. We tracked the instigators. Turned out to be a Congress ally by the name of Matloob, his family members, several others that were part of the conspiracy. Viewers, in different parts of the country, there have been these incidents, especially outside mosques or areas where Muslims are found in greater numbers. Video evidence that is surfaced in the public domain is interpreted selectively, so it becomes very difficult to find out who actually did what. But the truth has a way of escaping the clutches of censorship and disinformation. Times Now has accessed visuals from Andhra Pradesh's Nellore. Here, viewers, Hindu Shobha Yatriks passing by a mosque found themselves in an unpleasant situation. Young men gathered at a mosque even though it wasn't time for namaz, tried to provoke the yatriks. Why were they gathered there? How did they know that the yatra was supposed to pass from there when the police was trying to make the yatris change their course? We don't know. Viewers, all we can see is in these pictures, these youth making obscene gestures, but also trying to pelt stones. Luckily, the police did its job. The administration reacted in time, and we didn't see a repeat of what took place in Khargone, Karoli, or even Jahangirpuri. Now look at the pictures, viewers. Muslim youth assembled at the gates of the mosque, within the mosque compound, even though it wasn't time for prayers, raising slogans of Allahu Akbar. The Andhra police has not made a single arrest in connection with the incident, despite the fact, viewers, that the youth pointedly tried to instigate. The Andhra police says that the Muslim youth were reacting to the yatris who raised the sound of the music system as they passed the mosque and also twirled their mustaches. Now, viewers, once again, we are not here trying to give a clean chit or indict one over the other. We're not doing that, viewers. All we are trying to do is to tell you that this narrative of painting only one community in a foul light is wrong. It's unfair. It is rank appeasement politics. First, listen to the Nellore SP, the Superintendent of Police.
Entire procession is went off very peacefully. Almost 5,000 crowd have been participated in the bike rally. And at one point of time, and they crossed the mosque. At reaching the mosque, and DJ sound have been a little louder, and the bike sounds also. The youth have been made some bike sounds and chanting with the slogans of Jai Shri Ram. And at the same time, the youth inside the mosque, they are saying the Allahu Akbar. Except that there is no throwing of stones or no clashes and no throwing of bottles or nothing. No such instances happened.
No throwing of bottles, no pelting of stones, no such incident happened. You've heard the Nellore SP who denies any stone pelting during the incident, but now listen to the local YSRCP MLA who claims quite the opposite. He says that some culprits tried to pelt stones but were restrained, and the situation was quickly brought under control. Now, viewers, there is one basic problem here. If there was an attempt to pelt stones, i.e., the youth were clearly holding stones, were making obscene gestures to spoil the peace, why haven't any arrests been made? If, as the SP says, that the opposite side, i.e., the Hindu side, was turning up the DJ sound system to provoke, and they felt that it could have led to some sort of a reaction, why aren't the organizers of this yatra being held? Viewers, listen first to the YSRCP MLA who contradicts the Superintendent of Police. Who is to be believed? We don't know, but listen.
There was an unfortunate incident, a trivial incident that happened in Nellore during a Hanuman Yatra. There were some misbehaviors. The culprits tried to throw stones and tried to disrupt the yatra. But immediately our police department has acted on it. Our SP has stepped in. Immediately it came under control, and the yatra has continued very peacefully. Our Honorable CM is a secular leader and a very democratic leader. He respects every religion and faith. And in the entire Andhra Pradesh, everybody is living very peacefully. Mr. Damodarji, Hindus are very happy at the most peaceful conditions prevailing in Andhra Pradesh.
Abbaya Chowdhary's own description at slight variance from the Superintendent of Police. That's not it all, viewers. There's more. Government sources say that YSRCP Minority Leader Sheikh Siddiq and TDP leader Sheikh Jafar were present in the mosque at the time of the provocation. Yes, when these obscene gestures, which we have blurred out, were being made, these important, very important members of the local community that belong to the two principal political parties in Andhra were present. Times Now has also learned that Muslim youth had assembled in the mosque even though it wasn't the time of prayer. Why were they there? Why did they need to be there? These are all questions, again, that need to be answered. Who assembled them? If it wasn't time for prayer in such large numbers, who assembled them? Who called them? They knew, viewers, that this yatra was perhaps going to be passing by the main street on which there happens to be a mosque. Why be there? Yet, viewers, no arrests have been made. On either side, I'm not here trying to get one side into trouble. No action has been taken at all. The BJP has lashed out at the Jagan government, accusing it of appeasement. A battle royal is waging. Listen into this.
Hindu Samaj is very angry with this incident, and we blame the Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy and his YSRCP government that they are indulged in mere vote bank politics and they are supporting such type of acts. Recently, in Kadapa district, the local SP conducted one press conference and said that in Rayalaseema region, nearby area of Nellore, SDPI and PFI are conducting training camps. These such type of fundamentalist and terrorist organizations, what they are doing in Andhra Pradesh, why Jagan Mohan Reddy is not taking action on it?
Let's open this up, viewers. Let's open this up for some questions. We will also be speaking today to Abbaya Chowdary, who's the MLA and spokesperson of the YSRCP. Now, Abbaya Chowdary, I want to ask you, you made a very interesting remark. I want to ask you, what do you mean when you said that an attempt to pelt stones was being made? Who was making these attempts?
Hi, Shivan. Hi, hello to everybody in the viewers, and all the panelists as well. Shiva, it's such a trivial incident, to be frank. I think it's absolutely, it's a Hanuman Yatra that's taking place. And there was 5,000 people out there. There's not one or two people. There are 5,000 people on the road. And a small trivial accident, a group of people were trying to create. There was some kind of, it's very unfortunate, there was some kind of people standing there next to the road. And immediately the police identified that they're trying to create some kind of nonsense here. And then they immediately controlled it. The yatra went very peacefully. So yeah, there was no, there was only some kind of a, when the yatra was going through the mosque, there were probably some kind of slogans and high-pitched slogans kind of there, but the yatra went really peacefully. There was no incident happened at all. There were some people, there were misbehaviors, there were some culprits that was there, and they tried to do something, but it was controlled immediately. So they haven't done anything.
That was very good. We were very, very fortunate, Mr. Chowdary. We were very, very fortunate. But if two groups, and I'm not, once again, I'm giving benefit of doubt, if two groups mutually were spoiling for a fight, and we have seen what has been going on across the country, this is not happening before those incidents, this is happening after the incidents, and we've seen what happens when such clashes take place. Can you still say that this is a trivial issue? We were just very lucky here. You talked about an attempt being made to pelt stones. We can see obscene gestures being made. Clearly, sir, it's not a trivial matter when one side or both sides are spoiling for a riot. This is a very precarious situation.
Shiva, I just want to reiterate, AP is such a peace-loving state.
No, that might be so. That might be so. Why not ensure? No, one second. Mr. Chowdary, I just want to come back to the statement you made. I'm not making these statements because I know that there are sensitivities. I know that the state administration is watching these debates very, very closely. Therefore, I am not at all, at any level, saying anything that you are not saying. So there are two clarifications I want. Do you believe, sir, that a riot-like situation that has been, thankfully, thank our stars, bless them, have been avoided, is a trivial issue? Simple question, number one. Number two, you talked about an attempt being made to pelt stones. Can you elaborate on this?
Sure, Siva. I just want to reiterate saying we respect every religion, and we have the leader who is following the secular and democratic leader we have. So coming back to the incident there, absolutely. It's an yatra with 5,000 people, and it's probably unfortunate. See, when you have a 5,000 people of crowd there, definitely there will be people that are trying to misbehave and trying to create some kind of nonsense when they're drunk or something like that. So what I've been informed is there are few people that were sitting there, probably they're drunk and they want to create some kind of nonsense. And immediately the police identified that they might create some issue. They might do some kind of nonsense, and they immediately took it under control. Our SP was on the ground and he took the control, and everybody So the incident didn't even happen. The reason why I called it trivial is because our police department has acted immediately. They identified who were trying to make it, and they also had a peace. Our SP was there on the ground, and he also had a peace conversation with both the parties and said, "Come on, these only few elements that are sitting out, who are not from both the parties, are trying to create spoil the atmosphere." So he said he was on the ground, and he said, "It's just a few elements that are trying to do, and both of you are calm down." And the yatra went continued, and there was no incident at all happened there.
Right. Now, Mr. Chowdary, I've understood what you're saying. Yeah. You're constantly saying that we were lucky nothing happened, but there was a possibility that things could have happened. We've seen how in other cities of our country it went horribly out of control. Now, I'm only asking you a very simple question. So if you respect every religion, and I have no doubts to disagree with you or in any way think that you are misleading me, then shouldn't we punish those who made obscene gestures to provoke? Now, do you believe that these gestures are respectful of Hindu sentiments?
Absolutely not, Shiva. So I already called it an unfortunate that these kind
it's not unfortunate, sir. Since these people landed up there on a time when there was no namaz being offered, it seems to suggest that they were there spoiling for a fight. They were there with a plan in mind, and they executed it. It's just that the state administration was vigilant, and for that I congratulate you and the YSRCP government. But, sir, and this is where I'm coming to the main question. Why were these individuals, why haven't they still not been arrested? They pose another risk. Tomorrow they'll show up somewhere else. Maybe this time the state will not be vigilant enough, or they may not, or they may just do this slyly. These people should be off the streets. They should be punished. Why haven't they been punished, sir?
I agree with you, but the thing is, we cannot ask anybody not to, we cannot say to someone, say, you don't go to mosque, you go to mosque at only on a particular time. We can't say that.
Yeah. So but you can ask them, you can punish them for trying to incite. There is an act under the law.
It is not with the Muslims, nor the people.
Let me bring in Ishkaran Bhandari. Ishkaran Bhandari, is this it? 1 second.
Want to know the facts or no?
No, sir. I'm not going to take the facts from the BJP. Quite clearly, sir, we have done our independent investigation. I'll come to you. Give me 30 seconds, please.
No, but obviously,
I want to first clarify whether this is a trivial issue. Sir, I'm coming to you. Let me first clarify whether this is a trivial issue, what could have happened under the law, how it would be viewed by an independent judge if the matter was brought before him or her. Now, Mr. Bhandari, how would you view it if you were a justice? You're a man of law. How would you view this?
Rahul, there is a history which has been going on in this nation in the last few days, which you have documented very well in your various debates. And to be frank, the spokesman from YSRPC says that there was some attempt at mischief. Now, if this mischief had occurred, that would be a very, very serious repercussion. Thankfully, the local policing or the administrative prevented the mischief from happening. But to ensure that certain other attempts don't happen in Andhra Pradesh or any other state, the people who tried to create a mischief, and this would have been a mischief which would have taken religious connotations, it is essential that those people who were trying to do this are booked, face the full might of law so that nobody else attempts to do it. And on the larger point, Rahul, I would want to say this also. Let's start from Shaheen Bagh onwards. We are seeing a methodology adopted from Shaheen Bagh in Delhi, where rooftops, where mosques were used as points in which people put all breaks, gathered on rooftops and started having violence. And that spread into various states. Now, we have been lucky, at least in various states, it did not devolve into riots like Delhi, whether it's Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh or Andhra Pradesh. But the risk, the danger is becoming extremely serious, and we probably need to have also a central investigation. Is there a conspiracy across India in which people want to reduce any certain state of India into writing? Is this being funded? What is happening? Because it is happening in too many states with the same methodology for it to be mere accident. And finishing with Andhra Pradesh, I hope those who attempted to do it are taught the lesson by law so that no such further attempts happen.
Now, Mr. Bhandari, no one has filed a complaint. So, what does one do in a situation like this? Can the police act suo moto since they have witnessed these events? Or,
Absolutely.
because a complaint has not been filed, there can be no case?
No, Rahul, police has all the powers to register an FIR themselves, because if there was an attempt made and that attempt would have resulted, it has not thankfully, but it would have been an attempt which would have resulted into serious law and order crisis, the police has all the powers to register an FIR and take appropriate action as per law.
So the question that remains unanswered, viewers, for the record, and you've heard it from Ishkaran Bhandari, a lawyer, is to why the police has not suo moto taken action against those individuals. I could not get a straight answer. Now I want to bring in the BJP. The YSRCP and others will say that there is a pattern to these yatras. They pass mosques or areas where there are Muslims to elicit a reaction. Is this the case?
Rahul Shivshankar, you certainly times now doesn't seem to have done, doesn't seem to have studied what has been happening on ground for the past several months. Don't look at this incident in isolation. Certainly, like Ishkaran says, there has been a pattern to it nationally and in Andhra Pradesh, in the Rayalaseema districts, in Nellore and the adjoining districts. There is a massive build-up of PFI and SDPI activity. I think Nellore, close to Chennai, has seen a massive build-up. And there has been always an attempt to provoke and also to create communal disturbances. In Communal district, which is a part of Rayalaseema, 2 months ago there was in a place called Atmakor, thousands of Muslim mobs, thousands of them, have attacked a police station in Atmakor town because one of our leaders who was registering a protest against construction of a mosque in a Hindu dominant locality, which is without any permission from the local administration. I think they had gone to collectorate, they had gone to the police station and waged literally a war against the police station. And the state government and the police have come down heavily on our cadres, but have not taken
I'm not
any
making this
action
political.
against SDPI
No, I'm not
and
making
PFI.
this political. I'm asking you. Let's stick to this. See, I'm not.
No, it's not political.
No,
There's
one
nothing
second.
political about it.
One second.
There is nothing political about it. Google it, you will know. Google it, you will know.
Fine. Mr. Narasimha Rao,
There is
I
nothing
began by
political
asking
about
you a
this. This is
simple
real.
question.
There are
The opposition says, please answer my question. It's an important question. That there is no action, there is no reaction without action. This is what they have been saying. So I'm asking you, is there a pattern to these yatras? Now we know that Ram Navami is over.
I think it's...
Yet these yatras are continuing. There are members, according to the little information that we have gathered from ground, of members of, groups, Hindu groups, VHP, etc., who are passing these mosques in these pictures. We are being told that they upped the volume on the DJ set, they played loud music, they even began to sound their horns. And therefore, they also tried to bait the youth. Now, whether the youth were there in a pre-planned manner, they were called there, we'll get into that. But maybe that didn't need to be done, especially when you know that the other side is supposedly, allegedly spoiling for a fight. Yes, Mr. Rao.
Is there a ban on Hindus celebrating any of their festivals in public? Should Hindus start only celebrating or performing puja only at home? They are not supposed or allowed to go out. I think, is there a ban on number of people who can go in a procession? Is there a ban on walking on streets where there is a mosque? Because then possibly every street, you cannot walk on any street because there are mosques everywhere. I think it's the most silly question I encounter. Why should this procession, I think, had the permission of the local police when they are going in, and the police have not said there is any provocation on the Hindu side. You can't make up, Rahul. I think the provocation is from the mosque, and you can see those visuals. Those faces are visible. Why can't the police arrest them looking at their face recognition? Let me give you an incident. A couple of stones were thrown at a church a year ago when there was a burning of a chariot in Antarvedi town. A 100-year-old chariot was burnt to ashes. When 2 stones were thrown on the church, some 40 people were arrested and put in jail for more than 25 days. And here you can see the provocateurs in the videos. Their faces are visible. In all probability, they are activists of PFI and SFI. Why can't the police act against them? Why is the police acting
we come back to the
Hindus?
We come back to the question.
In this case, they cannot.
We
act
come back to the
against
central
Hindus
question.
because
Now,
there is no
I want to
provocation.
make it very clear, viewers. All the information we have got is from individuals on both sides and from the law enforcement authority. What did the superintendent say? He said that as the procession is passed, they up the decibels. This is not Rahul Shivshankar saying it. The police is saying it. Now the question is, viewers, and that is why you are hearing the YSRCP, etc., asking this question. Oh, they were provoking, and that's why I wanted to get this out of the way, whether there was a provocation or not. The BJP has made it very clear. The Member of Parliament says that can we not celebrate our functions, our rituals the way we want to, or do we have to self-censor ourselves? Mr. Chowdary, that question will come back to you. And secondly, you heard the lawyer. Why is there no action been taken by the police? Secondly, we are also being told, sir, that a YSRCP minority cell leader was there in the mosque. He also presumably was there when there was no namaz being read. Why was he there? And why didn't he stop these individuals from gesticulating in this obscene manner? 3, why hasn't he filed a complaint against these individuals who are gesticulating? Surely, sir, you wouldn't want a large number of BJP cadre to go outside your house and gesticulate like this to your family. You would take action, would you not?
Rahul, I mean, first coming back to what our MP or BJP Narasimha Rao has said, I respect him, but I just want to reiterate, BJP is not the sole protector of Hindus in this country. They should refrain from acting on religion-based agenda. I mean, I'm sad to say this, but on the national channel, trying to talk about just on one religion and not talking about the others, and trying to defend one religion is not the right way to do. Being in, they're not the sole protectors. Everybody respects religion. I mean, at least from our Andhra Pradesh perspective, we respect every religion and faith. My answer to him is Hindus are very happy at the most peaceful conditions prevailing in the state.
No, but that is fine. That I understand. I'm only asking you, sir, to answer the question. You've responded to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll come back to your next point.
Yeah.
I just want to give a reply back to Narasimhanji because he mentioned, he tried to make it political by bringing in all the other issues that happened. So just coming back to this one, the district SP has taken note of the sloggering. The administration decided to call a peace meeting of both the groups. The authorities also warned them not to repeat this kind of incident in future. So the situation was in complete control, and strong steps are taken to prevent such happenings in future. So we have taken, so we have called up both the parties, we spoke to both the parties, we said these incidents should not happen, this is not the way that we, and Nellore is very peaceful right now, there was no single incident. So at this point of time, if we try to go and if we had a peace meeting and we told them this should not be repeated, and SP has given them a warning, this should not be repeated, even...
Is this enough? Is this enough? Let me bring in Uma Anandan. Is this enough? Uma Anandan, is this enough?
That's what it's very hilarious. The usual rhetoric from all these politicians, we are a peaceful state, we respect all religions. You know, we Hindus are sick and tired of all these dialogues. First, I would like to say that we Hindus have been, it's a sampradaya for us to have these festivals, the car festivals, the procession of our deities, all this during the auspicious months, particular months, and the routes are always the same. We don't change our routes. Now I would like to ask one simple question what you asked. Our temples being under the control of the government, we have a specific time for worship and the temples are locked. After the specific time, afternoon 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, they are locked and everybody is sent out. Same way, evening time, it is opened again for darshan. But what is the reason for people to gather at this mosque when it is not a namaz time? Why? And there are culprits who have been pointed out. What action has been taken? Is peace talks enough?
Okay.
Enough? It would satisfy us? Why is the
Itizan
law, the
Hashmi.
Congress government, the
Okay.
YSR Congress and all,
Let me ask.
why are they always
Mr. Hashmi.
mollycoddling the minorities?
Mr.
It is only
Hashmi.
a vote bank politics.
Okay, let me ask Mr.
Why are
Hashmi.
they
Mr.
not
Hashmi,
able
1
to
second,
take
please.
action?
1 second.
Against
Mr. Hashmi, let me ask you a very straightforward question. Do
Yes.
you condemn these pictures in which these youth are seen making obscene gestures, spoiling for some sort of a fight, provoking the situation, trying to destabilize the peace? Simple question.
As an honest citizen, we must condemn each and every kind of attack. But we must know the cause of attack and violence in this country. As far as my knowledge is concerned, I can presume that BJP is in the hands and gloves with some Pakistani intelligence agency to create the unrest in the society. Because BJP leaders and BJP government is trying to create an unrest in the society and to divide us on communal lines. Let me tell you one more important thing.
Have you just read did you just read Digvijay Singh's tweet or something?
I have.
Did you just read Digvijay Singh's tweet?
I don't read his
Let's
tweet. I
pull
read
out
my,
Digvijay Singh's tweet, because
I
I'll
don't
just
read
show you what he
Digvijay
said.
Singh's tweet because
You
I
sound
read
just
my
like
I read
you
my
just
Constitution
look.
of India
No,
and
1
my
second. You just look as if you have been.
I'm not representing. I'm
No,
not
you have-
representing Digvijay Singh.
No,
in
no.
this
You
debate.
sound as if you have just
Rahul, I'm
heard.
not representing
No,
Digvijay
no.
Singh in this debate.
1 second. I agree with
allow
you.
me
You
to
don't.
make my
But I can't. I
submission,
find
my
it
point of
bizarre.
view.
No,
I'm not
1 second. 1 second.
representing
Mr. Hashmi, where is the proof that you have? When you say, I presume that the BJP is working to some Pakistani agenda, is that responsible? Commentary on television.
Yes.
Maybe you're not a responsible
Because only-
commentator, and maybe I should just tell
it's
you
not a
to
commentary
keep
on
quiet.
television.
Maybe we should just tell him to keep quiet, mute him, because he obviously doesn't want to talk sense. This is a kind of bilge, viewers, that people spew when they have nothing to offer by the way of an absolute condemnation. A but will always be attached. We must find out what was the provocation. I want to show you Digvijay Singh's tweet, viewers. It's a bite also. Let's play out the bite.
मैं बोलता हूं तो मुझे केस में लग जाता है, झूठा केस लग गया मेरे पे। बात यह है, कांग्रेस ने अमन चैन शांति के लिए अपील करी कि नहीं करी कि नहीं करी। दूसरा, मेरे पास ऐसी शिकायतें आ रही, मैंने उसकी जांच नहीं की है, कि कुछ गरीब मुसलमान लड़कों को पैसा देकर खुद ही पत्थर फेंकवाते हैं भाजपा के लोग।
फैक्ट है क्या सर ये आपके पास?
ये मेरे पास फैक्ट्स नहीं आए हैं, मैं उसको चेक कर रहा हूँ, मैं इसलिए आरोप नहीं लगा रहा हूँ, लेकिन जो जानकारी आ रही बता रहा हूँ आपको, इसको मैं चेकअप करूंगा, उसके बाद करूंगा।
Viewers, one of those Muslim youth who might have been paid by the BJP might have been in Karoli by the name of Matloob, who happens to be an ally. Actually, I'm being sarcastic, viewers, because I don't know what more to say. You have Mr. Hashmi, you have Digvijay Singh, they all sound as if they are drinking out of the same trough of disinformation. It is absolutely ridiculous. Did the BJP pay an individual called Yunus to shoot at the police in Jahangirpuri? Viewers, did the BJP pay youth in Srinagar to pelt stones before Article 370 was abrogated? We have to start maturing. We should unilaterally, without any compunctions, call out any provocation, whether it's from the Hindu side or the Muslim side. In this particular case, viewers, you are seeing what has happened. I don't need to tell you, I'm taking a very short break. We'll be right back with another big story.